The stars were disappearing. Leia Organa gasped for breath, while blue force energy tore violently around her body inside the shattered resistance chamber. Alarms screamed through smoke-filled corridors as distant explosions shook the dying base beneath her feet. "Luke!" Her voice broke apart. The force around her suddenly twisted harder. Too hard. Like reality itself was collapsing inward. Then came the pull. Violent. Impossible. Leia felt her body ripped through freezing darkness while thousands of voices screamed past her at once. Memories crashed together inside her mind. Alderaan exploding. Vader watching silently. Luke smiling beneath twin suns. A black helmet falling beside fire. Then suddenly, Coruscant. Rain slammed against metal towers. Leia crashed hard onto a narrow landing platform high above the endless city while thunder rolled across the night sky. Traffic lights blurred through heavy rain beneath her trembling hands. She coughed violently. Alive. Young again. And somewhere nearby, she felt him. Anakin Skywalker stood alone outside Padmé's apartment, staring across the city skyline while lightning flashed across Coruscant. Fear consumed him tonight. Fear of losing Padmé. Fear of the Jedi. Fear of himself. Then suddenly, the Force screamed. Anakin turned instantly. A young woman had collapsed onto the neighboring platform across the rain-covered bridge. She looked terrified, disoriented, but the moment their eyes met, Leia froze. Because Darth Vader's eyes were staring back at her from a younger human face. Not broken, not mechanical, human. Anakin stepped toward her cautiously. "Who are you?" Leia's breathing became uneven. This was not the monster from the Death Star. Not the shadow who tortured worlds. This was Anakin Skywalker. Still alive. Still savable. Tears mixed with rainwater on Leia's face before she could stop them. Then, finally, she whispered the one word that shattered the timeline forever. "Father." Rain rolled down the glass walls of Padmé's apartment. Coruscant glowed beneath the storm while distant thunder echoed between the endless towers outside. Inside the dark room, Leia Organa stood frozen near the balcony doors with her hood still dripping rainwater onto the floor. Anakin Skywalker watched her carefully, confused, uneasy, because the force around this girl felt impossible. "Familia." "You call me father," Anakin said quietly. Leia looked away immediately. Pain crossed her face before she could hide it. "You shouldn't know me yet." The words made his stomach tighten. Anakin stepped closer slowly. "Who are you?" Silence. Then Leia finally looked directly at him. Not at the Jedi. Not at the hero. At the man hidden underneath. "My name is Leia." Her breathing shook slightly. "And if I fail tonight, you become Darth Vader." The room went completely silent. Even the rain outside suddenly felt distant. Anakin stared at her without moving. "Darth. Father." The name sounded wrong in his voice. Like something dead trying to breathe. Leia's eyes filled with tears. "I spent my entire life fighting him." Every word hurt her to say. He hunted Jedi, destroyed worlds, helped murder millions. Anakin stepped backward slowly like the floor itself had broken beneath him. No, but deep inside, part of him believed her immediately. Then Leia made the mistake. The terrible mistake. You turn because you're afraid to lose her. Anakin froze. Fear shot across his face instantly. Leia realized too late. "Padmé." He grabbed her shoulders hard enough to hurt. "What happens to Padmé?" His voice cracked. Not angry. Terrified. Leia's breathing became uneven. Because suddenly she was no longer standing beside Darth Vader's shadow. She was standing beside a frightened young man who loved too deeply to survive losing it. And that somehow felt even more tragic. Then the lights inside the apartment flickered violently. Across Coruscant, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine slowly smiled inside the darkness of his office. Because at that exact moment, he felt the timeline beginning to break. The apartment lights were dim. Rain slid slowly across the massive glass windows while Coruscant traffic drifted beneath the storm like rivers of fire. Padmé stood near the balcony watching Leia carefully from across the room. The girl looked exhausted, shaken, but not confused anymore. That frightened Padmé most. Anakin paced silently nearby with tension written across every movement. He kept glancing between them like he was terrified one wrong sentence might destroy everything. Then Leia finally looked toward Padme, and her expression broke. Not fear, recognition. "You died because he loved you too much," Leia whispered softly. The room froze. Padme's breathing caught instantly. Anakin looked physically wounded by the words. "What did you say?" Padme asked carefully. Leia lowered her eyes, like she already regretted speaking. But the damage was done. Then Leia began describing things no outsider should know. Private Senate conversations. The lake retreat on Naboo. The necklace Anakin carved as a child. Even the way Padme touched her hands together when she was afraid. Every detail landed harder than the last. Padme slowly stepped backward. Because this was no trick. No spy. No assassin. This girl knew them. Outside, thunder shook the city. Inside the apartment, Anakin looked like he could barely breathe anymore. "You said I become Darth Vader," he whispered toward Leia. Leia nodded slowly. Pain filled her eyes. "But before that, you become my father." Silence swallowed the room whole. Then Leia made another mistake. A fatal one. There was another child too. Padme's face tightened instantly. Another child? Leia realized too late what she had revealed. But the name escaped anyway. Soft. Broken. Luke Skywalker. The lights inside the apartment flickered violently. And somewhere deep beneath the Senate district, Palpatine suddenly opened his eyes in fury. The candles went out one by one. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine stood motionless inside his private chamber while thunder rolled beyond the Senate windows. Coruscant skyline flickered beneath endless rain. Then suddenly, the Force screamed. Palpatine's yellow eyes opened slowly inside the darkness. Not pain, disruption. Something impossible was moving through the future itself. He stepped toward the massive window overlooking the city. And there, for one brief second, he saw it. A young woman standing beside Anakin Skywalker. Then the vision tore apart violently like broken glass. Palpatine's breathing slowed. Dangerous. Because now he understood. Someone had carried future knowledge backward through the Force. Someone connected to Skywalker. Meanwhile, inside Padme's apartment, Leia suddenly grabbed the edge of the table as agony shot through her head. Memories flickered uncontrollably. Luke disappearing. Stars changing. Entire battles vanishing from existence. Anakin rushed toward her instantly. What's happening? Leia could barely breathe. The timeline, her voice shook violently. It's changing too fast. Then Coruscant's lights flickered across the entire city. Clone troopers marching through nearby streets suddenly stopped moving in perfect synchronization. Their helmets turned slowly toward the Jedi Temple, like puppets hearing distant commands. Inside the Force, something dark had started moving earlier than it should. Back inside the Senate Tower, Palpatine smiled coldly. Fear no longer touched him now. Only urgency. If the future was collapsing, then he could not wait for Anakin Skywalker to fall naturally anymore. The Jedi had to die tonight. Immediately, Palpatine activated a hidden holocommunicator beside his throne. Blue light illuminated his face from below like ghost fire. Then, softly, almost calmly, Darth Sidious gave the order that shattered the Republic forever. Prepare the clones. And, across Coruscant, thousands of inhibitor chips began activating too early. The training chamber lights flickered violently. Obi-Wan Kenobi blocked Anakin's strike at the last possible second, while sparks exploded across the dark room. Rain hammered against the temple windows beyond them. Anakin attacked again immediately. Too aggressive. Too fast. His movements looked less like a Jedi tonight, and more like someone trying to kill a nightmare inside his own head. Enough! Obi-Wan shouted. The chamber fell silent instantly. Anakin stood frozen several feet away, breathing hard while blue light from his saber reflected across sweat and exhaustion covering his face. Then Obi-Wan noticed it. Fear, not anger. Fear so deep it looked painful to carry. You've been disappearing for days, Obi-Wan said carefully. You're hiding something. Anakin lowered his weapon slowly. For a moment, he almost looked like the young Padawan Obi-Wan once trained. Then the mask returned. What if the future can't be stopped? Anakin whispered. The question hit Obi-Wan harder than any confession. Outside the temple, sirens echoed across Coruscant. Clone patrols moved through crowded streets, while civilians pointed upward in terror at something standing on a distant rooftop. A tall black figure, motionless. Mechanical breathing echoed faintly through the rain before the figure vanished completely. Across the city, more sightings followed. Inside the chamber, Obi-Wan stepped closer carefully. What did that girl show you? Anakin's breathing became uneven again. She showed me what I become. Silence. Then finally, Anakin looked directly into Obi-Wan's eyes. And for the first time since they met, Obi-Wan saw his student truly terrified of himself. Far away inside the Senate Tower, Palpatine slowly smiled while watching clone commanders prepare emergency transmissions. Because fear was finally destroying Anakin exactly the way the Sith needed. And outside the Jedi Temple, the shadow of Darth Vader appeared again beneath the storm. This time, it did not disappear. The council chamber felt colder than usual. Rain struck the massive windows overlooking Coruscant, while silence hung heavy between the Jedi Masters seated high above the floor. Blue lightning flashed across the dark skyline outside. Leia stood beside Anakin in the center of the chamber. Small, alone, and terrified. Mace Windu stepped forward first. You claim this man becomes Darth Vader. Leia swallowed hard. He does. The words echoed painfully through the chamber. Several masters lowered their eyes immediately. Others stared directly at Anakin like they were seeing a ghost from the future standing in front of them already wearing black armor. Anakin felt their fear instantly. It spread through the Force like poison. Not trust, not hope, fear. His breathing became uneven. You think I'm already lost, he whispered. Nobody answered him. That silence hurt more than accusation ever could. Then Leia made it worse. She looked toward Yoda slowly. In my future, the Jedi Temple burns. The room froze completely. Clones marched through these halls. Leia continued softly. And Darth Vader leads them. Obi-Wan shut his eyes in visible pain. Anakin looked physically sick now. Like every word was cutting pieces out of him while he stood there helplessly listening. Then suddenly, a clone transmission echoed through the temple walls. Emergency sirens activated across Coruscant. Several Jedi reached for their lightsabers instantly as frightened voices flooded the chamber through nearby holoscreens. Reports of clone violence, attacks in Senate districts, troopers ignoring Jedi commands. Order was collapsing already. Mace Windu looked toward Anakin slowly. And for one terrifying second, Anakin saw the decision forming inside his eyes. Not arrest, not protection, execution. Far away inside the shadows of the Senate Tower, Darth Sidious smiled quietly while red lights illuminated his face. Because now the Jedi feared Anakin Skywalker almost as much as the Sith did. And fear was always the beginning of the fall. The first blaster shot echoed through the temple at midnight. A Jedi Knight collapsed beside the archive entrance while clone troopers opened fire through smoke-filled corridors without warning. Sirens exploded across the temple instantly. Then came the screaming. Leia ran through the upper halls breathing hard while red emergency lights flashed across the walls around her. Younglings cried behind locked chamber doors as distant explosions shook the temple foundations. It's happening too soon, Leia whispered. Fear crushed her chest. This was wrong. The future was breaking apart faster than she remembered. Far below Coruscant, Palpatine stood inside his throne chamber watching clone battalions march through holographic projections across the city. His yellow eyes narrowed slightly. Skywalker hesitated, Sidious murmured. The disappointment in his voice felt colder than anger. Then the galaxy will burn without his permission. Inside the temple hangar, Anakin ignited his lightsaber as terrified Jedi rushed civilians toward evacuation ships. Clone troopers flooded through the smoke moments later. blue and red blaster fire lit the darkness instantly. Anakin moved fast, desperate, violent, not attacking Jedi, protecting them. And every second he resisted, the timeline shook harder. Then Anakin heard it. Children crying nearby, younglings, hidden exactly where Leia once described. His body froze instantly. The memory hit like a blade through his chest. A dark hallway, a red lightsaber, small terrified voices asking for help. No! Leia reached him seconds later and grabbed his arm tightly. You still have a choice, she whispered through tears. Smoke drifted around them while clone blasters echoed closer through the temple halls. Anakin looked completely shattered now, because standing in front of those frightened children, he finally understood the most horrifying truth of all. Darth Vader was never some distant monster. He was a decision, and it was waiting for him right now. The temple was dying. Flames climbed through shattered towers while smoke swallowed the upper halls of Coruscant's greatest sanctuary. Blaster fire echoed endlessly through the darkness below. And in the center of it all, Anakin Skywalker stood frozen, breathing hard, lightsaber trembling in his hand. Clone troopers surrounded the main chamber, their rifles aimed directly at the surviving Jedi, children hiding behind fallen pillars. Fear filled the room like smoke. Then Darth Sidious stepped forward slowly from the shadows. His hood dripped rainwater onto the burning floor. "Finish your destiny," he said calmly. The words felt colder than the storm outside. Leia grabbed Anakin's arm desperately. By now, parts of her body were already fading into blue force light. Small pieces of her hands vanished whenever lightning flashed through the broken ceiling above. The timeline was collapsing. "You still have a choice," Leia whispered weakly. Sidious smiled. "No," he replied. He already made it long ago. Anakin looked toward the terrified younglings, then toward Leia, and suddenly, he saw both futures at once. Darth Vader marching through smoke, Luke screaming beneath Bespin, Leia standing beside a destroyed Alderaan, all of it connected to one decision. This one, for one horrible second, silence consumed the chamber. Then Anakin ignited his lightsaber and turned it toward Darth Sidious. The Emperor's smile vanished instantly. Clone troopers opened fire. Chaos exploded across the temple. Leia collapsed to her knees as her body faded further into light. Tears filled Anakin's eyes while he defended the children beside her against waves of blaster fire. Because finally, after all the fear, all the death, all the manipulation, Anakin Skywalker made the one choice Darth Vader never could. He chose love over fear. But as Sidious disappeared into the flames beyond the collapsing chamber, he left behind one final promise echoing through the burning temple. "You may save the girl, Skywalker." Lightning flashed violently. "But now the future no longer belongs to you."